Night falls. Shadows grow long. The world transforms into a place of mystery and fear. The once familiar streets now seem like a labyrinth of unknowns, where every corner hides a secret, and every shadow holds a story untold. A cold wind whispers through the city streets. It carries with it the echoes of the past, the voices of those who once walked these paths. The wind is not just a breeze, it is a messenger, a harbinger of tales that send shivers down your spine. It carries a secret, a scary story whispered from friend to friend. In hushed tones, they speak of the unknown, of the things that go bump in the night. These stories are not just for entertainment, they are warnings, passed down through generations. Be careful after dark, they say. For when the sun sets, the boundary between our world and the otherworldly blurs. The night is alive with unseen eyes watching, and ears listening to every sound. The darkness is not empty, it is filled with the presence of the unknown. Listen closely for the sound of scraping metal. It is a sound that chills the blood, a sound that signals the approach of something sinister. It is a sound that once heard is never forgotten. The sound of Teke Teke, a name that sends shivers down the spine of those who hear it. A name that is whispered in fear, for to speak it aloud is to invite her presence. This isn't just any ghost story, this is a tale of vengeance, of a spirit wronged and seeking retribution. It is a story that has been told and retold, each time with more fear and more urgency. This is the chilling legend of Teke Teke, a vengeful spirit that haunts Japan. Her story is one of tragedy and horror, a tale that has been etched into the very fabric of the night. She crawls on her hands, her body cut in half at the waist. Her movements are unnatural, her presence terrifying. She is a reminder of the fragility of life and the thin line between the living and the dead. She drags herself forward, the sound of her body scraping against the ground echoing in the night. Beware the Teke Teke. She is fast, she doesn't stop. Her relentless pursuit is a testament to her unending rage and sorrow. And she is coming for you. Her presence is a constant reminder that the past is never truly gone, and the spirits of the wronged will always seek their due. So when you hear the sound of scraping metal in the dead of night, remember the legend of Teke Teke and know that she is near. Every ghost has a story, a tragedy that made them angry. Teke Teke is no different. Her tale is a story of betrayal, of a life cut short in a terrible way. The legend tells of a beautiful young woman, hurt by a lover or a cruel twist of fate. She fell onto train tracks. The train, fast and unforgiving, cut her body in two. Now, filled with anger and sadness, she roams the earth as Teke Teke. Her rage is powerful, her sadness, a haunting melody that lingers long after she's gone. Imagine, if you can, the scary sight of Teke Teke. Her long black hair flows behind her like a dark river, her eyes burn with a cold white fire, but it is her lower half, or the lack of it, that truly makes your blood run cold. Where legs should be, there is nothing. She uses her hands, rough and twisted, to pull herself forward with terrifying speed. The sound of metal scraping against the pavement, the Teke Teke sound, is a sign of doom. To see her is to know true fear, to hear her is to know your fate. Stories of Teke Teke's anger are everywhere, each one scarier than the last. The legend of Teke Teke is one that has been passed down through generations, whispered among friends and family, and shared in hushed tones around campfires. It is said that Teke Teke was once a young woman who met a tragic end, her body severed in half by a speeding train. Now, her vengeful spirit roams the earth, seeking retribution for her untimely death. Her name comes from the eerie sound she makes as she drags her upper torso along the ground. A chilling Teke Teke that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Some say she wanders near train stations, forever tied to the place she died. These desolate locations, with their echoing silence and cold, hard surfaces, seem to be the perfect haunting grounds for a spirit as tormented as Teke Teke. Witnesses have reported seeing a shadowy figure lurking near the tracks, her eyes filled with a sorrowful rage. The air grows colder, and an overwhelming sense of dread fills the hearts of those who dare to venture too close. Others say she appears in bathroom mirrors, a terrifying reflection of our worst fears. Imagine looking into a mirror, only to see a ghostly figure staring back at you, her eyes hollow and filled with malice. The flickering lights and cracked mirrors only add to the eerie atmosphere, making it feel as though Teke Teke could reach out and pull you into her world at any moment. These encounters leave a lasting impression, a reminder that some spirits are too restless to find peace. One story tells of a schoolboy walking home alone at night, The streets are empty, and the only sound is the soft rustling of leaves in the wind. As he walks, he begins to feel an uneasy presence behind him, a sense that he is being watched. His heart races and he quickens his pace, but the feeling only grows stronger. He hears the Teke Teke sound behind him, but before he can turn, she is there. Her appearance is sudden and terrifying, her eyes burning with an unquenchable fury. The boy is frozen in fear, unable to move or scream as Teke Teke closes in on him. The sound of her dragging body is deafening, a constant reminder of the horror that is about to unfold. Her scythe, or sometimes a blade made from her own broken body, flashes in the moonlight. The weapon is a symbol of her pain and anger, a tool she uses to exact her revenge on those who cross her path. The sight of it is enough to send anyone into a state of panic, knowing that there is no escape from her wrath. The stories are like warnings, scary tales whispered quietly. They serve as a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, and the importance of respecting the spirits that roam the earth. These tales are passed down from generation to generation, each one adding a new layer of fear and intrigue to the legend of Teke Teke. They remind us that even in our safe homes, darkness can find us. No place is truly safe from the reach of Teke Teke, and her story serves as a chilling reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the supernatural. Whether it's a dark alleyway, a deserted train station, or the comfort of our own homes, the legend of Teke Teke teaches us to always be aware of the unseen forces that surround us. Teke Teke is more than just a scary story. She represents our deepest fears. Her broken body makes us afraid of the unknown, of how easily we can be hurt. Her relentless chase reflects our fear for our safety, especially for children walking alone at night. In a culture that values being the same and following rules, Teke Teke represents the hidden chaos. She reminds us that even in modern times, old fears still have power over us. Her story makes us ask, what scary things hide in the shadows? What happens to us when we do bad things? The legend of Teke Teke thrives in the whispers of school children. Told over and over, the story changes with each telling. For kids, Teke Teke is more than a ghost story. She's a challenge, a test of bravery. To say her name is to face the darkness. To share her story is to connect with friends over a shared sense of fear and excitement. The legend's popularity with children shows its power. It's a story that connects to something deep inside us, something that goes beyond words and culture. The scary image of Teke Teke isn't just in stories. She has crawled onto the movie screen, her legend inspiring many filmmakers. From small, scary movies to big productions, Teke Teke is a part of Japanese horror movies. These films explore themes of revenge, guilt, and what happens when we do bad things. They remind us that some hurts, both physical and emotional, never truly go away. Seeing Teke Teke moving on screen, her body scraping across, is something viewers don't forget. Why do we tell ghost stories? Why do we like being scared by legends like Teke Teke? Maybe it's because these stories let us face our fears in a safe way. There's a thrill in being scared, a rush that comes from knowing the monster isn't real, but also thinking that maybe it could be. Teke Teke, with her gruesome looks and relentless chase, embodies our deepest fears. Yet, we are drawn to her story, wanting to learn more about the angry spirit that haunts our imaginations. The legend of Teke Teke, like the scraping sound of metal on the ground, continues to echo through Japanese culture. Originating from the post-war period, Teke Teke is said to be the vengeful spirit of a young woman who fell onto a railway track and was cut in half by an oncoming train. Her upper torso, now a ghost, drags itself along, making a chilling Teke Teke sound as her nails scrape the ground. This haunting tale has been passed down through generations, each retelling adding new layers of fear and fascination. Her story is a warning, a reminder of the darkness that can hide even in the brightest places. The legend serves as a cautionary tale, especially for children and young adults, urging them to be wary of their surroundings. The eerie atmosphere of a playground at night, or a seemingly safe, well-lit street, can quickly turn sinister when one imagines Teke Teke lurking in the shadows, waiting to claim her next victim. Though she comes from folklore, her impact on today is real. In modern Japan, Teke Teke has transcended her origins to become a symbol of urban legends and ghost stories. Her tale is often shared in schools, around campfires and even on social media, where it continues to captivate and terrify new audiences. The fear she instills is not just about the ghost itself, but what she represents: the unknown, the unseen, and the unexplainable. Teke Teke is a warning, a ghost story, and a part of our culture all in one. She embodies the rich tradition of Japanese folklore, where the supernatural is often intertwined with everyday life. Visiting a traditional shrine or walking down an old street, one can't help but feel the weight of history and the lingering presence of spirits like Teke Teke. These stories are not just for entertainment, they are a way to connect with the past and understand the cultural psyche. As long as there are shadows for her to hide in, as long as there are whispers in the dark, the legend of Teke Teke will continue to scare us. The fear of encountering her in a dark, shadowy room or while walking alone on a foggy night keeps the legend alive. It's this fear that makes the story so enduring, as it taps into our most primal instincts, the fear of the dark, the unknown, and being alone, reminding us that some stories never truly die. They live on in the pages of ancient weathered books, in the flicker of a candle in a dark room, and in the silhouette of a ghostly figure that haunts our dreams. These stories are passed down from generation to generation, each retelling keeping the spirit of Teke Teke alive. They serve as a bridge between the past and the present, a way to keep our cultural heritage alive. They just change, taking on new meaning with each generation that dares to tell her tale. Around campfires in classrooms and through digital media, the story of Teke Teke evolves, reflecting the fears and anxieties of each new generation. Old photos transition into new ones, showing how the legend adapts to modern times while retaining its core essence. Children listening intently to a storyteller in dim light are the future keepers of this chilling tale, ensuring that Teke Teke's presence endures for years to come.